What's up, Youth of Sydney? Rice Rally 2014 is almost here. It's happening. We have had the most amazing Rice Rally rehearsal tonight. They are rocking.
It's going to be crazy. Friday, the
Love
8th
God.
of August. Francis Chan coming to talk. We're excited. You guys have to be there.
Man, we're singing, dancing, choir. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you're there. Let's go. Come on.
My name is Steve Choi. I currently study part-time. I study law at the University of Sydney and I work part-time as well. You know, I love music and also I've been involved in Rice Rally, which has been a blessing in my life.
My name's Steve Chong. I am married to a wonderful woman called Naomi. I'm the dad to 4 beautiful kids. All those guys are the joy of my life. I'm also a pastor. I lead a church called Kirk Place Presbyterian Church in Kogarah. And on top of that, I'm the founding leader of the Rice Movement, all of which I enjoy and love.
My name is Melissa. I'm 17 years old and I'm in year 12. I've been coming to Rice Rally since 2011. First 2 years I always saw people dancing, saw people singing, and I thought, oh, that's pretty interesting. I like to sing and I like to dance. And so that part of serving in the creative team appealed to me. I remember seeing the videos for auditions on Facebook. I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty interesting. So I decided to have a go.
So I had always heard about Rice Rally in high school. I'd never gone though, but then one of my friends knew I loved to dance and she asked me, oh, do you want to be a dance leader? And that's how I got involved first year as a dance leader, and it was awesome.
So I was there when Rice began, and something that was just extraordinary was just watching how it came from just such a simple start. Basically what happened was there were just a few friends who all were involved in running their own weekly youth groups at churches. They got together and just went, we're all trying to do the same thing. What would happen if we just did it together? We started like in a church hall and we then ended up at Town Hall in the middle of the city, and then went to the Darling Harbour and then we went Sydney Entertainment Centre. And to see that kind of growth happen, it's just been extraordinary. Young people come together for the same thing.
If I were to explain to a friend what Rice is, I'd explain first that it's basically a large evangelistic youth event for the youth of Sydney, for them to come and hear, what Christians believe or what we're on about.
For Rice Rally we have rehearsals. Once every week we'd come together after school. The rehearsals would go from about 5 to about 8 or 9. Sometimes when I study, I like to give myself an incentive, and so I say, okay, if I can do these 20 maths questions, I can get up and I can start dancing for 10 minutes. We have a Japanese room in our garage, and sometimes I practice there, or just, I don't know, outside home, or just like anywhere really.
So the core team's hilarious because you've got like quiet people, you've got crazy loud people.
Having different people from different walks, different churches. Some of us will rub each other the wrong way, but we all come together for the same cause. Yeah, leading that team, I guess I'd be able to delegate the meetings, the tasks that need to be done, the deadlines, the rehearsals, email at 2-3 a.m. for Rice. Gosh, yeah, this year I was definitely stressed leading the core team, especially when there's a lot of things to do.
Weeks coming up when they all come together for these rehearsals. Man, they are intense. You've got all these teenagers who've been at school all day, come to work hard on a dance routine or the choir or where they walk on and off the stage, and they're doing that with the band and they're doing that all together. Just an incredible show of dedication.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, but when you have fun, like the time flies and you get exhausted even though you're having fun. A few days after rally, we all had post-rally depression. We all wrote these like messages about how we all miss each other a lot.
So post-rally is awesome. There are no meetings, there are no 11:30 p.m. meetups. For that to be over, I think we're relieved, but also kind of, we reminisce and reflect about it and go, oh, just a good experience together. We had moments where it was tough and, there was friction. But I think when you struggle together with a team, you bond with them and you come closer. I think that's why, when people are in military as well, there's a sense of camaraderie because you have the same goal and the same mission. And
Rice Rally is really exciting, but what happens after that, in my opinion, is just equally as exciting because we see the effects flow on and flow out.
One thing I missed a lot about being on the creative team was the fellowship we had. You can have fellowship with a lot of things. We could have had fellowship in the fact that we could dance and we could sing and we do all these things together. But it wasn't just about singing or dancing, but our fellowship was in the gospel. They lived out that gospel in everything they did.
on the day, we had an army of volunteers. They're uni students as well that, got on board with the cause.
Putting things up, getting things ready, helping kids come from the train station to the event, putting up decorations, getting involved in so many different ways.
Doing that all day, and so they were working tirelessly.
To see that whole group of people come together, I think is an act of love in the way the leaders gave their time and energy to this event.
One thing I really admired about our leaders was the leaders are so patient. Even though a lot of us were stressed, I know the leaders would still, they'd still smile and de-stress us and remind us it was all for the glory of God. And they're really, I guess, great examples and people that we can look up to. So this year the theme was Love God. Our speaker was Francis Chan, and he gave this talk on God and God's love for us. It was a really great talk. I remember I teared up a lot of the time during the talk, and I don't tear up easily in real life. One thing that really stuck out to me in that talk was when he got his daughter Mercy up, and he was like, when we become parents, we realize how much we love our children, and in the same way, how much God loves us as his children. It would just break him to see his daughter being nailed to a cross and having to bleed and die in front of him. That made me realize the extent of God's love for us.
Yeah, what I learned from this year is that I'm very much the type to want to do things well, do it on my own, not have to depend on people, but to know that it was just impossible with myself alone, my strength alone. It was just really kind of comforting, and to know that there are people that I could trust and kind of live life with and to run this journey was awesome. I think that was the greatest thing this year.
We actually have a reunion coming up, have a nice dinner, catch up, and so I decided that I'd make cupcakes for our creative kids.
I remember watching someone for a rehearsal and bake cakes for everybody with the actual logo of the event on the cake, and I just thought, this is unbelievable. The kind of effort that people go to is extraordinary, and that for me is the essence of what it looks like to live out what you're preaching.
So I decided that I'd make cakes again, partly because I like baking, partly because I miss them a lot, and partly I guess because I just love them.
So sitting back and looking at Rally this year, God has taught me so much. I've been reminded that God can do anything. He can bring together a group of people from different places who don't even know each other, and he can use them to see incredible things happen and see young people's lives change. And we just saw so many young people's lives change for Jesus. And to see that made it all worthwhile, and has reminded me again that this is what God can do. He can do incredible things.
Is it good? Well, good.